Hey, what is up guys? This is Bailey Stein with Android Authority, and you're watching our video review of Honor's $400 affordable flagship, the Honor 8. So to kick things off, the Honor 8 features an absolutely gorgeous design, one that easily rivals the Galaxy S7's level of premiumness. And yeah, it looks a little similar to the S7 and strikingly so to that Xiaomi Mi 4S, but its dual glass panel design is still quite remarkable. There's actually 15 panels of light refracting glass here, which are what creates such enthralling light patterns. Both the front and back glass panels also curve down to meet with a chamfered aluminum band, so it feels like you're holding a single piece of hardware. One really cool feature that a lot of manufacturers exclude, especially at this price, is an IR blaster for controlling TVs or other household appliances. I was pleasantly surprised that the Honor included one at this price. The Honor 8's glass back can be quite slippery, mostly when set down on something like a couch cushion. It slowly slips and slides like an ice cube, which resulted in a few accidental falls. The good news is that build quality seems quite strong. A case still wouldn't be a bad idea though, as it would also help cover up any fingerprints on the back of the device. Huawei plans to release a few cases of their own too, so one of those will probably be your best bet. Although I would have preferred capacitive keys in place of the Honor chin branding, the on-screen navigation keys are still pleasant to use. They're also customizable, so you don't have to settle on the back button being placed in what you perceive as the wrong side. The Honor 8 has a 5.2-inch LTPS display with saturated and punchy colors. It's not very color accurate, however, and you'll want to adjust the color temperature in the settings to something warmer so the whites don't look so blue. Sunlight readability is decent, and the brightness maxes out at 455 nits. Viewing angles could be a bit better, but overall this is still a fairly good display. This is actually one of the few affordable flagships that has a display smaller than 5.5 inches, so the Honor 8 offers an expectedly better handling experience. This could really be a major selling point on its own if you're looking for something more compact. Performance with the Honor 8 was absolutely excellent thanks to one of Huawei's own in-house processors, the HiSilicon Kirin 950. It's pretty comparable to the Snapdragon 820, and with 4GB of RAM, everything is buttery smooth and responsive. Now, for the GPU, we're looking at ARM's Mali T880 MP4. It's good enough for virtually every game out there, but it may not be as future-proof as something like the Adreno 530. The Honor 8 is unlocked with dual SIM support and works with AT&T, T-Mobile, and the respective MVNOs. There's also Band 12 LTE on board for T-Mobile's extended range LTE coverage. Instead of using a second SIM card, you can insert a microSD card up to 128GB if you run out of the phone's 32GB of base storage. This is really a great option to have, and it's hard to imagine why some competing options exclude this feature. On the bottom, you'll find a USB Type-C port accompanied by a headphone jack on the left and a single speaker on the right. The speaker is decent, it gets the job done for sure, but the audio output is hollow and distorted. Huawei has done something a bit unique with the fingerprint reader on the back of the Honor 8. It not only functions as a quick and easy way to authenticate, but also as a tactile smart key. You can set it to different shortcuts, including flashlight, screenshot, or voice recording to tap, double tap, and hold. You can also have it open in an app instead if you'd like. It's overall very clever and nice once you get it set up how you like. Sadly, battery life isn't as good as I would have liked, as the 3000 mAh battery was only capable of achieving about 3.5 hours of screen on time. That's not terrible, but it's not quite up there with the XN 7's 5.5 hours, or even the OnePlus 3's 4 hours. It does support 9V 2A fast charging with a factory supplied charger for about a 42% charge in 30 minutes. It doesn't work with other 2A third-party chargers though, which really reduces its utility. Honor has informed us that they'll be selling compatible chargers online directly to consumers soon. Pretty much every affordable flagship falls short when it comes to the camera. Thankfully, this isn't the case with the Honor 8, as the 12-megapixel dual camera configuration with an f2.2 aperture produces some great images. And about that dual lens setup, one of the lenses captures color while the other is monochrome. Huawei states that this setup helps the phone capture crispier, better looking photos. Objectively speaking, images taken with the Honor 8 are contrasty, sharp, and showcase exceptional dynamic range. It's really impressive how well the phone can balance the highlights and the shadows. Low light performance is strong as well, offering shots that are good enough for most scenarios. While this camera is not going to outperform the Galaxy S7, it's amazing what Huawei was able to do once you consider the phone's price. Video recording is a weak point though, as it maxes out at 1080p at 60 frames per second. Colors also aren't that great in video, and the software stabilization is no match for proper optical image stabilization. The camera app is decent, and the manual mode is impressively comprehensive. Certain areas are a bit frustrating though, and a perfect example of this is how the manual controls don't rotate when you switch to landscape orientation. The Honor 8 is running Huawei's Emotion UI 4.1 over Android 6.0 Marshmallow, but it's very different from stock Android. There's no app drawer, the UI is iOS-like, and there are a number of additions, many of which will polarize opinion. Some of these additions are nice and genuinely useful, but they can certainly come across as gimmicky. For instance, while the knuckle gestures seem cool in theory, they don't always work very well. For what it's worth, I do find the lock screen view refreshing, the timeline notifications are kind of cool, and the power management tools are quite useful. What you don't usually get from smartphone manufacturers is a solid software commitment. Honor is different though, and has promised updates for at least 2 years with new features every 3 months for the first year. Hopefully Huawei can improve the software experience further with these updates. The recently announced partnership with XDA developers is also quite exciting, as it aims to create developer interest in the Honor 8. While it's currently difficult to say whether we'll eventually see custom ROMs for this phone, this is certainly a step in the right direction. You can pre-order the Honor 8 now in either blue, black, or white from various retailers, starting at $400 for the 32GB model and $450 for the 64GB model. There are a number of promotional offers available too, including a $50 gift card, which can certainly sweeten the deal. Honor is offering a free one-time glass replacement within the first 3 months if you register your Honor 8. This is a great bonus to have, even if it is only for 3 months. The Honor 8 includes features that many have wanted from an affordable flagship for a while now. A gorgeous design, a smaller size, and a great camera. Its excellent performance, good display, and IR blaster are also great attributes. Since this is a very competitive price segment, you have a lot of options to choose from. Therefore, it would be wise to consider what you value most in a smartphone and base your decision off of that. Thank you so much for watching our video review of the Honor 8. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Finally, be sure to visit the Android Authority website for additional coverage, as we are your source for all things Android.